Dan Quayle was part of one of the most powerful offices in the world, but he's also a man who grew up in Huntington, Indiana, and received his undergrad degree at DePauw University. He spoke at his alma mater just a few weeks ago, and that's when I had a chance to sit down with him and talk about everything from the president with whom he worked to the spelling error of the century. It's been 22 years since Indiana native Dan Quayle served as the 44th Vice President of the United States. Quayle served his four-year vice presidency under George H.W. Bush, then saw his efforts in making a presidential election run fall short against Bush's son, George W. Bush. Quayle has a unique vantage point and relationship with the 41st and 43rd presidents of the United States.
They approach the issues differently. I think 43 he's got core values and he's very quick, I think, to make decisions and comments. 41 is probably a little bit more reticent, a little bit more reflective, but there really wasn't much difference in their fundamental values. I mean, W, grew up as the son of 41, and so the values that 41 have, he instilled in his son. So it's a very special, beautiful picture.
Mr. Quayle is also part of the last president-vice president tandem to have played college sports. The elder Bush played baseball at Yale, while Quayle played golf at DePauw, and was such a standout for the Tigers that he was elected to the DePauw Athletics Hall of Fame.
It's quite an honor, and I came back to receive that honor, I forget, a number of years ago. We had a little dinner, and I was, at the time, I was pretty good in golf. My game's not what it used to be by a far stretch. Yeah. But anyway, it's great. It was a wonderful evening, and Bob Bottoms was president at that particular time, and it was really special.
Quayle also displayed his sense of humor during a visit to his collegiate alma mater in late March. The former vice president is forever linked with the word potato after incorrectly adding the letter E to a 12-year-old elementary student's attempt at spelling the word during a New Jersey spelling bee contest in 1992. Quayle was given an inaccurate flashcard prepared by a teacher, yet Quayle still looks back on the mishap in a good-natured manner.
Are you still floored to this day how one word, potato, had such an impact, and it seemed like you were having to comment about this wherever you were making a speech? And I hope I'm not trying, I'm being respectful when I ask that. Do you know what I mean?
Look, I'm just glad to have spell check. That's where I am today. It helps me out a lot.
One topic that the former vice president is much more serious about is how politics has changed since he last held office. And Quayle feels where politicians are taking up residence has a lot to do with the changes.
Today, members of Congress, even senators, they don't move out there. They need to probably live out there and get to know each other in a social setting rather than always have a political setting. If it's just a political setting, then it's going to be contentious. So that's one of the things that's a big, big difference, and I think it carries over into the floor of the Senate.
Former Vice President Quayle believes he and President Bush would have won re-election in 1992 if it weren't for Ross Perot receiving 19% of the vote. Quayle says Perot's impact on the vote contributed to the Clinton-Gore win.